Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam.
I'm Cecilia Omogbe. This morning we're starting with, of course, the Olympics where Team Nigeria lost narrowly to the USA. And we tag it as USA Temi D Tigress.
Yes,
they lost by 9 points,
just
single
9
digits.
Points. Yes, D Tigress beginning the Olympics campaign on a losing note, but it has to be said was a very gallant effort from the ladies. I will come back to that game later on the show. Still talking about the Olympics, of course, another bad news for Nigeria. Aruna Quadri has been knocked out in the third round. Our
biggest prospect. Yes, we know he won't win a medal, but at least maybe get to the semi-finals, because in Rio he got to the quarterfinals. But this time around, he was knocked out by a Brazilian.
Wow.
Okay, who looks more like?
Coming.
Also on the program, Aruna Quadri is not the only big player exiting the tournament. Naomi Osaka, the greatest hope for Japan, winning a gold medal in the women's singles event. She's out of the Olympics.
Wow. Didn't see that coming at all. Cecilia, the star attraction for Japan at the Olympics, Naomi Osaka crashing out in the third round against Marketa Vondrousova. Of course, yeah, too bad for Naomi Osaka. She's going to have to try again next time out in Paris.
We'll see how far she can go in that one.
All right.
Let's get straight into the Olympics updates.
Okay. All right.
All right, I was talking about Naomi Osaka, world number one. She's out. The former world number one, Ashley Barty, she's out of the Olympics.
Yeah.
She was the Australian hopeful.
Yeah.
Then you have Naomi Osaka, as I mentioned earlier, the biggest draw in the women's single.
Yeah.
She's also out. She lost to Marketa Vondrousova 6-1, 6-4 in straight sets. So remember when she lit that Olympic quadrum on Friday, and of course, which opened the game. Like, okay, everyone's looking forward to her. What's she gonna do? But then in this particular game, she had 18 unforced errors, 3 times more than the winner.
Yeah, end of the road for Osaka was always going to be difficult for her coming into this competition after taking that break. Mental health for 2 months, she wasn't active, so it was always going to be a very tricky situation for her. But we saw in the first and the second rounds where she passed those tests in flying colors. So we thought perhaps she's starting to get in a groove. But against the Marketa Vondrousova, who's a very decent player on the WTA tour, she just met more than a match. Like you said, both players are producing 22 winners on the day, but Osaka kicked 32 unforced errors compared to Vondrousova's 10. So that's how she crashed out of the competition. It's not only Osaka that is out. Also, some other big names on the day crashed out of the competition, including Iga Swiatek. She's out of the competition, as well as Aryna Sabalenka and Petra Kvitova. All the top seeds in the women's singles are crashing out at the Aruna Tennis Park. So perhaps I would say.
So open now, you're going to see a new name.
Yes,
an unfamiliar name actually winning the women's gold medal in the singles event.
Exactly. So that's it for the tennis events. Of course, the guys are still in action. Novak Djokovic is still in the running for gold in Grand Slam. If he goes on to win this competition and wins the US Open at the end of the year.
We'll
All
see.
right.
It's still so early.
Yes, of course. But Djokovic, you won't bet against that guy going on to win gold. He's never won gold before the Olympics, so with the kind of form he's shown in the past couple, actually all year long. As a matter of fact, you be a very brave person to bet against Nole. All right, that's it for Osaka and tennis. Let's come back and talk about Team Nigeria. Let's just give you the updates from Nigeria's outings at the Tokyo Olympics early this morning. Not great news, like we said. Aruna Quadri crashing out of the singles events. That's for table tennis in the third round against Suboy Gustavo of Brazil. Round 3, Cecilia. No one
That's his
saw that
opening match. I mean, you say round 3 as if he's played the first and the second.
Yeah,
But this is his opening match. He got invited to the third round because he's ranked high. And then at the end of the day, we expected something better. I mean, this is one of the biggest shock of the tournament because no one expects Aruna Quadri to lose so easily. I mean, 4-2. That's a loss. So it's not like there was a fight or anything. He won 2 games, of course. The Brazilian won 4. And if you look at the face, if you're wondering, is this how the Brazilians look like?
Yeah, well,
obviously not. We know that most Chinese are actually naturalizing for other countries when it comes to table tennis. That's why you look at the name, you try to identify it with the face. It's just not the same.
He was actually born in Brazil, but obviously
he was born in Brazil, of
course. Asian roots. And Cecilia, like I said, 4-2.
Yeah.
It was a major upset in the table tennis event of the Olympics. Quadri started well, won the first game, 15-13. You're okay, fantastic start. Let's go on and consolidate now. But that wasn't the case because Zuboy came back and won the next 2. Games 2 and 3, 11-9, 11-6. Quadri came back and won game 4, 11-7. But when it was crunch time, time to step up, was Zuboy that stepped up, winning games 5 and 6, 11-7, 11-6 to advance into the 4th round. Like Cecilia said, Quadri got a bye into the 3rd round. Zuboy had to play prior rounds to get into this stage. So ranked 37th in the world, beating Aruna Quadri, was a top 20 player most of the times. It's not what we expected at all, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Remember when he mentioned that before he would play, Zuboy would have gotten used to play. He would have had enough game under him. And exactly what happened, exactly one up. That's exactly what happened because he's played 2 more games than Aruna Quadri. And Aruna Quadri, we know injuries actually made him pulled out of, the qualifiers, and he didn't even qualify. He had to use the ranking to come into it. So when it comes to competitive matches, how many games does he have under his belt? So I think maybe a bit of rustiness might just be one of the things that affected him, because he was saying that this Olympics will be the most competitive because you have all the top 100 players right here, in Tokyo. So Aruna Quadri is out.
You've summed it up very well, Cecilia. Quadri in the last year has not been in the greatest form because of injuries mostly. Was some at the African Championship, struggled with injury, didn't qualify. Eventually had to sneak in through the rankings, and this is the result of it. So Aruna Quadri, wishing him all the best going forward. All right then, another event that went down for Team Nigeria. Actually, as a matter of fact, just a couple of hours ago, was in the basketball event, the women's basketball event, Group B, where it was Nigeria taking on the United States of America, ended 81-72 in favor of the USA, just a 9-point victory. Cecilia, very, very gallant effort from Team Nigeria. Big credit to the ladies for making the USA work in the last 5 or 6 minutes to get that particular victory. They were down 20 at a point. They cut the lead to single digits, and that's exactly how it ended. Quarter 1, Nigeria won 2017. Second quarter, it was USA winning 27-12 and 26-18 in the 3rd quarter in favor of the USA as well. So, but that 4th quarter, Nigeria showed a lot of fighting spirit. The ladies came out all very aggressive, and they won it 22-11. So 2 quarters apiece. But at the end of the day, was the USA winning 81-72.
Expectedly, especially when Sue Bird, became Sue Bird, when she
Yeah.
had to put in everything, making plays, and at the end of the day,
Making
how many
plays.
assists? I mean, I lost count at
She's got over
about
100 assists now in the Olympics.
in the Olympics. So she started making plays, and that was when the
career,
Tigers
rather.
just couldn't put up. But I love the fact that they were dominant in the sense that when it comes to the paint and the way they were defending and everything, the steals that they had, I think that's what they had going for them. Just the kind of togetherness that we saw from the team was great compared to what we saw with the D Tigers, where everyone was more like playing individual game. But these girls, everyone coming together to be able to play. But then Olumide Edeji will be joining us much later in the second half of the program to talk more about the D Tigers and their performance. So, of course, help us to preview the game against D Tigers tomorrow. But then, first of all, we're going to be joining Chika Chukwumerije from Tokyo to give us more updates of Team Nigeria, what they've been doing so far. Yeah, we were all heartbroken when Elizabeth Ayanacho lost out because she says, yeah, she was preparing for Paris 2024, but then this was a great one in the sense that getting to play at the Olympics alone in Tokyo was a good step for her. Now, Chika, you've been with the team almost, badminton, table tennis, you've been with all of them. So tell us, how do you feel concerning Team Nigeria's performance so far in Tokyo?
I don't think we've gotten any surprises yet. Perhaps we expected Quadri to go maybe a bit further. Last time, he got to the quarterfinal stage. Then he was the first African to do so. But I think in terms of medals, so far, we have not been surprised, So I think realistically, when we look at it, I think our strong points are coming up, which is the athletics. Some people have been posting very good times. It's a Brume or Cabaret. And the wrestling team, they actually just came in just about an hour ago. So they are looking like zoned in and very focused. So I think we're still doing pretty much, we're still on track to win a medal. And I just think Team Nigeria have given their all. You see, sometimes I reflect on Athens Olympics. When I think back, I'm a lot older now. When I lost my match, I remember I went into 3 months of depression, and it cost me a lot. And that's why, you see, when these athletes lose, when you see me with them, I hug them, I tell them it's okay. We have to kind of, give them a lot of value. And that's why, when Elizabeth lost, I was very protective because I know that actually the target is you must win a medal in Paris. So I didn't want some kind of mental health issues with her. So I went out of my way to tell her, look, it's okay. This experience you've gained is very critical for Paris. And the same goes with some of them. The badminton guys, this is their first Olympics, this one's ever, and this is the first time. I talked with Joke this morning, and when I saw her, she was fidgeting a bit. She said, I'm going to meet Taipei, Chinese Taipei. And I was like, so what? And she was like, she's the fourth seed. And I said, so what? I said, go out there, play like you're going to win, get the experience. In Africa, you're number one. This is the first time you're on this stage. Enjoy the performance. You don't have to worry too much about what people will say or all that. You are the best right now from your continent. So I've been very careful to manage the mental health issues and tell them, look, it's okay. And you're representing your country at the Olympics. But in terms of the medal projections, if you've been following the trends, I honestly, I root a lot for wrestling. I like the way they are zoned in, and also for the athletics team.
Indeed. Great exposure for Elizabeth. And like you said, you're doing everything possible to make sure she doesn't feel too down on herself after that loss. Let's talk about that fight itself. Where did she lose it? It was a very competitive fight. Ended 12-7 at the end of the day.
Actually, if you've watched Elizabeth in training, you...
All right, seem to be struggling with connection. Okay, you're back. Carry on.
Yeah, I remember the day before when we got to the venue. She looked at it and she was like, just one cut, just a little bit cut. I said, yes, it's the Olympics. The Olympics is a G20. The highest Elizabeth has fought is a G4.
Wow.
So because she has never fought at this level throughout the preparations, I knew that neither could she predict how she's going to respond to the pressure of the man. So I could tell you the technical reasons. I can tell you that one, she should have been a lot more aggressive. Two, the opponent was very mobile, so she should have taken it to the opponent and fought in a short distance and kicked the opponent before the opponent's kicked. Three, should have tried a lot of headshots. You find out that she just tried only 2 headshots and one connected, one almost connected. So all her strong points, she didn't kind of use it. And it's just because of one reason. The stage was big, you know.
Right.
When you're walking up that mat, you might feel alone. You might feel a lot of things. So I understood that some experiences you cannot teach. So she had all the tools and she still does to beat the girl. Maybe if they met in a G4, but because of the bigness of the stage, I just understood that, okay, this was what I was talking about, that I cannot predict how she's going to react to the pressure, but I saw it in real time, and that was a good thing. But I'm not even going to tell her all this that I'm telling you. It's in 2 weeks. I'm going to give her 2 weeks rest. I'm going to make sure mentally she's okay. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to replay the video for her. Actually, the draws, I did it like 3 weeks ago, so we knew who we were going to meet. So I'm going to show her, okay, this is what you should have done in this situation and in this. And I'll explain to her carefully that, yes, you knew what you were meant to do, but you didn't do it because of the pressure of the situation. And we're going to work on this simply by making sure she competes a lot. There's World Championships in 6 months. This year, I'm going to make sure she competes 2 more times. And actually, my target is for her to qualify automatically for Paris. I don't want us to go to the African qualification. If she's top 6 in the world Olympic qualification, she's going to get it. And I'm sure after this Olympics, her ranking is going to drop to maybe top 35. So by the time she does the World Championship, does the 2 tournament, I hope that before Paris, she's going to hit top 10, then we can push for the qualification. So, look, Nigeria, this is the process of qualifying. There's no way around it. We cannot buy a medal. We have to work for it, and in the end, it will be okay if we put in the work.
No shortcut to getting on the podium at the Olympics, definitely. And for Elizabeth, she's still young, it's 21, so it's still a lot of years ahead of especially the Paris Olympics. She's going to have to go to a lot of events for our rankings to improve, like you said. Just hold on a minute there. We want to take this something coming from Funke Oshonaike, someone you know very well. She's gone to her 7th Olympics. She's joined the exclusive Club 7 for the ITTF, and she is very delighted, and she's been speaking after that induction.
I waited for a very, very long for a day like this. Today, I've been inducted to the exclusive 7th club. What a dream. I dreamt about this 5 years ago. I went through a lot. And look at me today. I can proudly call myself a proud 7-time Olympian, and I got an award for that today. Into the 7th club, the only woman in that club. I am so very, 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 very happy. I just want to use this opportunity to thank everybody that has contributed in one way or the other to this journey, that has supported me all these years. It has not been an easy journey, but look at me today. I'm happy. So never say never. Dreams do come true.
You're welcome back to Child Sport this morning. We still have Chika Chukwumeri Beijing Olympics, 2008 bronze medalist in the Taekwondo event. He's in Tokyo, of course, as an official and guiding, you could say, for Elizabeth Iheanacho. Before we went on that break, Chuka, you got to hear from Funke Oshonaike, an absolute legend of table tennis in Nigeria.
Funke is an absolute legend. 3 of my Olympics, she was my teammate, and I can tell you she was a most pleasant teammate. She's polite to everyone. She's always bringing a lot of life to the camp and trying to inspire everyone, encourage everyone. So whether you win or lose, she shares in your joy, in your sorrow. So I'm very happy for her. I think it's a very inspiring thing for everyone, and big congratulations to her. I'm definitely sure that she's going to inspire a lot of young people, and I hope that all her experience, she can use it to bring up table tennis stars back home.
Yeah, you're spot on. Before we let you go, Chika, we're going to circle back to Taekwondo. Elizabeth, fantastic prospect. Of course, a lot has been expected from in a few years from now. But who are the other prospects in Nigeria in terms of Taekwondo? Or we're just going to be talking about Elizabeth for the next 2, 3, 4 years? Who's next?
We have so much. We have so much. I have a long-term view of this. 6 years ago, I started this project. So there are others like her. So I'm not just going to focus on Elizabeth. There are so many Elizabeth across the country. Okay. So actually, my plan is next year to because I'm not going to have the time to train her again on a day-to-day basis. So I want to find someone who is very good, probably an international, that can help me take her off my hands. Because there are lots of them across. I've gotten the data I need to come back, gather the best coaches and say, look, if you do this training program, we're going to accelerate the performance of our athletes. And once I can focus on that, I'm sure that in the next 2, 3 years, a lot of her is going to pop up. So she's just a product of a program. And definitely, I don't want it to be like in my case where when you say Taekwondo, you mention only Chika. That shows the sport is not progressing. Exactly. I want us to have so many stars coming out from Nigeria. And I don't want to talk about it. I want to show you in a few years so that you could actually see these many more Elizabeths are coming up.
Indeed. There's more to come from Taekwondo. That's the message coming from Chika Chukwumerije. Chika, thank you very much for your time. I enjoy the rest of your day. And safe travels back to Nigeria as well.
Thank you.
Chika Chukwumerije won bronze, Nigeria's only medal in the Taekwondo event at the Olympics. Hopefully, in subsequent games, we'll produce more medalists.
That's what I'm hopeful for, because when Funke Oshonaike was talking about, she doesn't just want to be the only one in that 7th club when it comes to table tennis. I mean, he wants other women to actually step up. That's where that question popped up with. We have Elizabeth. I mean, for the first time in 16 years, that's why we're having another woman qualifying for Taekwondo. So in Paris 2024, we want to see more. At least we can have 3 or 4, qualifying for that event. And when the project is talking about, just hopefully it works out well and we have more athletes, qualifying for that. Okay, now let's talk.
Just before we move on, I just want to add that the fact that we have Chika in charge, gives me confidence that it can be done. It's possible. Of course, he's going to need a lot of support from the authorities now. He can't do it alone.
Yeah, not audio support, real support.
Yeah, real support, concrete ones, policies to ensure that all of these very amazing plans and vision that he has for Taekwondo, come to fruition.
Hopefully, we have that. All right, let's move to the Tigers, right? Okay.
Why am I smiling?
Well,
it's because they played so well.
Because they played so well. Because if you check exhibition game, the pre-Olympic tournament that they played against the USA, they lost by as much as 31 points. And this one was just a single digit. At a point, it was 20. For them to be able to come back and have that fight, that resilience, that's what I love about the Tigers. Anytime they're playing, finally we're beaten just days to the Olympics, and now they turn it around.
Yep.
They had Suber, they had Tarasi, and they have Stewart, they have everyone right there on court. But these girls were able to hold their own. That's what you talk about. That's when you want to say, I mean, we're not just coming here to participate. Yes,
Nope.
the joy of the Olympics is participation.
Yep.
But then you can go a step further and it'll prove a point. Leave your name there and let everyone know that, yes, when the Tigers came down to Tokyo, I mean, they had a spectacular performance, especially the way they played against the USA. So let's take a look at the stats. I mean, and
Exactly.
that's before Olumide Oyedeji will join us to talk about these girls, what they did differently to be able to step up to the USA, especially in terms of, the steals they had, the offensive rebound, defensive rebounds. Yes, the US. Now, take a look at the points now. Points from turnovers. Nigeria had 16 and the US had 13, which was a fantastic one. Fast break points, yes, the US were dominant in that one. Their height difference shows that. The second chance point, of course, US had better, 19. And the point in the paint, I mean, the US had better because they were just, kind of bullying the girls when it comes to the
Yeah, because they've got the length.
They've got the length.
That's pretty
24,
much.
36.
Yeah.
And points from the bench, of course. I mean, the bench contributed 30, while ours contributed 23. It was a close game.
Yes,
Imagine
it was.
Wasn't so high.
No,
as
9
some
points,
people actually
very-
expected. 9 points loss. So at the end of the day, I think the girls gave a good account of themselves.
Yeah, I'm not one to go on and about what's it called, moral victories and all of that, but it was a very good game indeed coming from the Tigers. Top performers on the night isn't it Kalu, the point guard for the team for Nigeria, 16 points, 6 rebounds and 2 assists on the night. While for the United States, it was AJ Wilson, of course, stepping up to the plate, 19 points, 13 rebounds and 1 assist.
Expected 2020 MVP.
All right, then.
WNBA.
Isn't it Carlo has been speaking? She was, the best performer for Nigeria on the night, and she's had a lot to say about that particular loss. And I quote, "We got our jitters out of the way. Everyone came out nervous, but we managed to play our game. We attacked them and caused 25 turnovers against the best team in the world, and that was huge for us. We went on a 12-0 run to keep attacking them and got them out of their comfort zone. It was an amazing effort." So. Cecilia, I mean, she said it all. The D Tigers were game. They were game.
Yeah.
And took 1-2 quarters. That's no mean feat against the best team ever. In the Olympics history for basketball. We said it at the start of the show now that we're going to be doing a comprehensive analysis of this game, as well as a preview of the Tigers' next game as well. We're not being joined by Olumide Oyedeji, former captain of the Nigerian men's national basketball team. Olumide, good morning. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Hi, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Nice seeing you.
Yes, it's great to see you as well, too. Let's just dive straight into it. Nigeria against the USA in the women's basketball event. What's your take on that game?
First of all, it was a tough one. It was a tough loss. I'm very excited the way that our girls played the last quarter, because of which we won. The first quarter was great, but by the time the game got out of hand in the second quarter and the third quarter especially, but just coming back, fighting back from 20-point game, but never gave up, because every basket you give up for this kind of tournament is going to count. Even if you lose by 20 points, by 10 points, but I'm excited that the way they played in the fourth quarter, and also when we started the first quarter was great. That was fantastic.
What do you think went wrong in that second quarter, especially because the girls they couldn't even manage anything? It's like the USA team woke up, so to speak, because they won the first quarter, which was a good one, but the second quarter it was horrific. I don't know. What do you think the girls should have done differently?
First of all, we know they're big, so we should keep taking the ball to the basket so we can get a better shot, because we didn't really shoot very well at all. So if you have to look at it, we actually even have a more shot attempts than the USA team. We attempted the shot 84 times and we made 23. So we shot 27.4. You're not going to win many games like that. For us to even lose by 9 was a miracle. Which I'm excited about. So for shooting 27.4, you're not going to win many games. You're not going to win any games at all. So, and also we're shooting 21.4 on the 3-point line. We're not going to win many games like that, not even at all, if possible. So, but our aggressiveness, we're forcing turnovers with the way which work for us, which help us to match up with the height and stuff. So also the experience also matters. You're talking about a couple of players in that team like Tarusi, Schubert, who have had a multiple Olympic experience, WNBA MVP, European League finals and stuff like that. So the experience also catch up, with us and when it matters, especially the second and third quarters.
Yes, your spot on Olumide. Experience, of course, cannot discount it at this level of basketball. Perhaps if the Chinis and the Nekas and the Lisbeths were clear to play for Nigeria, perhaps they could have gotten that victory. Let's move on now and talk about the guys. I mean, you're a former player for the D Tigers, and it was a tough start to the competition for Nigeria against Australia, losing back-to-back to the same Boomers side. What do you think happened in that game, especially after the first quarter, which was a tie? For the second and the third and the fourth, it just seems the game went away from the guys. They shot poorly. Our shooters on the day just couldn't connect. Gabe, Jordan. I mean, was it all down to poor shooting or something a lot more serious and complicated than that?
Oh, well, I believe what happened to our girls, that was what happened. What happened to our boys, that's what happened to our girls team as well. We didn't shoot really well, and as I said earlier, there are not many games we're going to win with 25 turnovers. So we had 25 turnovers, and we actually went away from what got us to where we were in the first quarter. And if you look at the fourth quarter, we started falling apart, and we started taking the game individual. So that's why you saw the Australian team, they've been together a lot, talking about Patrick Mills, talking about Inges, then Adelover, all those guys have been together a lot, played in the multiple games. So that was where you see the team concept, the team cohesion now matters. So, and rather for us, we went the other side, we started playing individual, so which is actually kind of just took us a little bit far away. But if we can come together, still stay with the concept of the coach, still with the concept of the team. And I mean, there's nobody's going to be playing on hero balls. But we just have to continue to stay together when this is not going well for us. I mean, we have to stick with it because Australia had their own runs. We can also have our own run, like we had our own run with the Tigers in the fourth quarter. Like the USA had their run where they went 23-0 in one of the second or third quarter. That's basketball. But don't go away from it. Stay with it and let's just stay with the game plan. So individuals not going to win the game. So we just have to make sure we take care of the ball and we make sure we take care of all the little things we need to do. I love our aggressiveness. And also we have what I was talking about before the Olympics happened, because the way that you have to play the FIBA game, if you look at the technical foul on May to actually also change the game, because the foul, if I was just a regular foul on the NBA on the NBA or other side, but in FIBA is a breakaway plan that now became intentional foul. And also you get aggressive, he got aggressive, he talked to the referee, tried to express himself. He had another technical foul for the side ball. So all those kind of things change momentum of the game. Hopefully we're going to learn from it and we're going to bounce back and believe in a better form.
Yeah, is there something we're really missing? Because, I mean, I heard some people were actually mentioning Ben Uzo or something. I mean, there's some players that can just come and maybe change the context of the game, but then we don't have these players right now. But then, is there a particular player that can step up, to the plate to ensure that maybe we can get something out of the game against Australia?
But you're talking about somebody played against Patrick Mills, African champion, who can play anything but the lower, who's been a champion, with NBA champion, Ingies, the people that are smart and experienced enough. For me, I believe the team did the best they could do. Yeah. So we just have to work better. And yes, I mean, Ben Uzo, he's a point guard. The point guard I've seen in that team, which I don't know who is a natural point guard, is Agaba. I've not really seen a natural point guard, but Joshua Colgate is playing as a point guard to bring the ball down.
Yeah.
I don't think he's actually a true point guard, but he can make the play. But of course, he can play position. But maybe the style of the game the coach wants to play, which I can question, is like the 1, 2, 3. Anybody can bring the ball down. So Ben Uzo, yeah, he had experience being to the Olympics, but I'm not a coach. I let the coach do his technical job, but I mean, everybody has a part of role they can put in the team.
Indeed. Germany is next. Of course, they're not as good as the Australians. Like I said, Australia is top 3 in the world. Germany is next, but they're very decent European side as well too. Your message, I believe, is going to be the same thing. Take care of the fundamentals. Be very aggressive. Stick to the game plan. No ISO ball.
Oh, but I mean, don't forget, for you to come out of the Olympic qualifying tournament, you must be really good.
Yes.
The German team is not going to be a pushover. For you to come out of the Olympic qualifier team is really, 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 really tough.
Right.
You know, so I mean, moreover, you have to understand they are coming from a tough games that they played, that they already have in a game system, in a real game situation. So I don't see Germany game against Germany as a pushover, as a like just walk over. But don't forget that they play their best to be on that spot. They've won some games before they come to the Olympics. Yep. So Olympic is not for just money or akara. Anybody can just say, come out. No team, you can push about no team. I'm worried because you have to understand the German team are relentless, they're strong, they're fundamentally sound, and I mean, they've been together for long. So I don't see this game against Germany as like a just walk over.
No.
I think we just have to cut down our turnover. So we have to just play within the team concept. Nobody should play any Euro balls. Okay, I want to score highest. No. So if we stay with this minimize our turnover and we get high good shot percentage, I'm sure we can take the game against Germany.
Indeed, Olumide, Germany and Nigeria, a lot is riding on that game for both sides, having lost their first games of the competition. Before we let you go, Olumide, quick word, or just one word, which I know is almost impossible to describe Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic made his debut in the Olympics and scored 48 points. I mean, what's up with that guy, man?
I mean, who are you talking about? Luka what?
Luka Doncic, man, what's going on with him?
I mean, you're talking about Luka basket. I mean, he's getting. I mean, with the way the young man play, in a qualifying tournament, it was phenomenal. It was fantastic. So, are you talking about Luka basket? I mean,
Luka
basket right now.
I like that one. I mean,
I don't want to play him right now. I mean, he's so fundamentally sound.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I don't want to play him right now if I get a choice. But you also have to understand, like, they made a lot of difference in the team. Great leader, and all his other teammates. The feed of his energy, of his basket, smart, crafty, intelligent. I mean, I don't want to play Luka basket right now, but maybe when I get to the finals, or semifinal, I might think about it. By that time, he will have way down. But you know what? He can play. And you know what? And I know that Nigeria get a game too. And Nigeria know they carry last out with the talker, you know.
The good thing is they're not in our group. Slovenia, the first time of getting to the Olympics, and see what they did to Argentina. They want to thank you so much for taking our time to join us this morning. And hopefully when the D Tigers face Germany, they should be able to, maybe take a cue from all the things you've said and get to have a good game.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a great and wonderful show day.
Thank you.
Luka basket
sounds good as well. Yeah.
I mean, tell you remember the game. He sat out the remaining parts of the game. He could have scored up to 48. I said 48, up to 50.
Yeah, could have equaled or surpassed the record.
Surpassed the record of 58 points at the Olympics in a single game. Wow. It was awesome.
Awesome. Take a bow wherever you are. Look at Doncic. And this guy is 20 what? 21?
22.
And he's playing like a veteran.
Remember his rookie year when he won the MVP.
And he's done it. It's just
just rookie of the year. Yeah.
A remarkable player, Luka Doncic and Slovenia. That's a team to definitely watch out for just because they have Luka Doncic. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, of course, it's the end of our Olympics segment. When we come back, we'll be going to mixed martial arts. We've got an update on the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Away from the Olympics now, of course, you can always join us tomorrow for another coverage of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Let's move on now to football. Rivers Angels, they are in Côte d'Ivoire, trying to qualify for the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. Won their first match, 2-0. Second match is today against AS Police de Niamey.
Yeah, of course. And what they're trying to say is after winning the first match, so they have more confidence going into the second game. Especially coach Edwin Okon has been talking ahead of this game, thinking that after winning that, they have more opportunity to win against AS Machine. Although he said they're not underrating the team.
No, they can't.
No, definitely, it's something that they can easily win later today. Let's listen to Edwin Okon talking ahead of the game against AS Police from Niger Republic.
As you can see, this is our last talker before the match. We're going to know. And try as much as I can to see how to correct those things that happened in our last match. The police machine is not a pushover. We don't have to sleep, we don't have to relax. We have to fight until the final whistle. That is what we are doing now. So I think we are set up prepared to make Nigerians proud. I'm happy because there's no injuries. Since there's no injuries, I thank God at that level. So everybody's ready for the match. We watch every team here. We watch even the ones we know and the ones we don't know. So long as they enter this tournament, we make sure we watch and observe what they do with the ball and without the ball inside the pitch.
Yeah, he's been watching all the teams, so even if it's not facing anyone, because their target is not just qualifying for the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. The target is to see if they can even win it for the first time. That happens to be the biggest team in Africa. You can't rule that out when it comes to Rivers Angels. But then Edwin Okon is not the only person that has been speaking. Ezenagu Marian also has been speaking ahead of this game, and also Ikegwa Ogene Brume. Remember what happened to Ezenagu Marian? She was the MVP in their last game. So this time around, their prediction is to at least beat Police Machine. At least the minimum they can beat their team will be 3-0.
I'm not in any form of pressure. What's important is for us to win. Even if I don't score, even if the team scores up to 3 goals, it's okay by me. We are well motivated because the government has given us all we need.
The win over Hazaka's ladies has motivated us a lot in tomorrow's game. So we believe by tomorrow we will come all out and we expect nothing less than victory tomorrow. My fellow Nigerians, I'm promising you guys that we'll win the match from 3-0 upwards. We'll win the game for you guys.
Fellow Nigerians, you've heard from Marianne. 3-0 upwards. That's what they want to get against AS Police Machine. We'll see if they can do that later today. But then it's going to be a tough game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tough? Really?
I think so. You don't underrate any team. I love what Edwin Okon said about that. They've learned their lessons against Bayelsa United, Bayelsa Queens in the ITL Cup. That alone is something that usually at the back of their head. Yeah,
hopefully the message is gotten through to the players that you cannot underrate these ladies, even though they're playing in Niger and all of that. So wish our Rivers Angels all the best in that game later today against AS Police. Before we look at the papers, we have updates coming from the world of mixed martial arts. Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare, is now going to defend his title against Colby Covington in the main event of UFC 268 in November. It's going to be a rematch for these two guys. Dating location not yet finalized, but the UFC is open for the fight to headline at New York's Madison Square Garden. Usman and Covington met for the first time at UFC 245 in 2019. That was in December. And Usman won that bout by TKO in the 5th round. For Colby, he's been talking. He's never really accepted that defeat, even though he had his jaw broken, allegedly. But he's gonna get to run it back this time around in November. Usman is a pound for pound best fighter in the world right now, according to the UFC. 14 straight wins in the UFC's second longest behind Anderson Silva's 16.
It's interesting to see what's going to happen, and that's why, because I believe that from what Kamaru Usman has been saying, that said this was one of his biggest fights.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, if you're not accepting defeat, then I think he will be well beaten this
time.
Around.
That's it. Just make sure. The last person that behaved this way against Kamaru was Jorge Masvidal. Didn't accept defeat in the first game. One of the second bouts, got it and got knocked out. Yeah. So Colby should better be careful what he wishes for. But that's it. Kamaru Usman to defend his belt against Colby Covington in UFC 268. Pictures coming from Kamaru's visit to Nigeria. Cecilia, you met Kamaru. What kind of lad is he?
Yeah, I think it's quite hard. It's so humble.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met several stars, but I think he's one of the humblest I've seen.
Really?
I mean, he's so humble. He's so playful. He's so outgoing. And he's a happy person. I think that's his description. He's just always joyous, joyful. He was playing with everyone. I mean, taking pictures. Like, even when you're sitting down, you don't even want to talk. He'll call you. I'm like, oh, let's take some pictures and everything. So it's like, he's a playful person. I think maybe that's why he's winning, because when you combine humility, strength, and resilience together, you just be a successful person. So he's one of those fighters that I would say he's a superstar. He's not just a superstar. He's a superstar. I love the fact that when he came, this was Edo State. He's sparring with the deputy governor, Philip Shaibu. And so anytime you see this picture, you just want to like.
So funny.
It's so funny. Yeah. It was a
Hopefully,
when he came down.
He's going to be retaining that belt after UFC 268. Let's look at the papers now.
All right. All right, let's take a look at the papers. I'll start with Complete Sports. And Complete Sports here, you have Dennis picks Didier Drogba and Luis Saha as Kanu and Okocha. That's his favorite EPL players. Okay.
Dennis.
Yeah. Which
was Dennis and Menace? Who's that?
Dennis.
Manuel. Which of the Dennises? So many Dennis.
Yeah, there's so many Dennises. Anyways, but the Dennis they have
it's in Complete Sports.
It's in Complete Sports, so you can find details of that in one of the pages inside. Oshonaike officially joins Olympics Table Tennis Club 7. We talked about that earlier. It's Nigerian athletes undergo out of competition tests, and the reason for this one is simply because some of them they had the opportunity to do that. So before track and field will start on Friday, they'll have to do this and they will be ready for that. Onyekuru receives offers from Germany, Turkey, and Greece. Interesting. Where will he go to?
Don't know. This career.
And then Musa is one of Nigeria's greatest strikers. This is according to African Footballer of the Year, former African Footballer of the Year, Victor Ikpeba.
Debatable.
Debatable, yes.
Yeah, of course. Let's go to Sporting Life. That's the next paper for review. Red Devils woo Ndidi with 19.4 billion naira. Manchester United management wants Nigerians midfielder Foxes will reject any fee for the Eagles star. Manchester United considering Martial in Haaland bid. Interesting. Barca, Martial. Okay, we'll talk about Martial later on. Towards the start of the season, Barca, Neymar reach agreement to end contract dispute. PSG, Napoli hold talks with Koulibaly's agents. Onuachu crown Genk champions of Belgium. Does this mean he's going to stay and definitely not leaving after that record-breaking season he's had last year? Onyekuru left out of Monaco's preseason camp. And last but not the least, Espanyol make Wakali #1 target summer transfer for you. It's also stories from the Olympics concerning Edem of Young, Quadri Aruna, and Iheanacho Elizabeth.
All right, the last one is Sporting Sun. And here, Sporting Sun, you have PSG to sell 10 big names to fund Pogba and Hernandez pursuits.
Wow.
Interesting. Barcelona and Neymar, they settled the dispute out of court, finally. And Rogers insists that Ndidi is not for sale.
Are you sure about that? If the right money comes?
When the right money comes, they will have to,
Yeah.
especially if United really want to sign him. I think they have the money to do that.
You think so?
Yeah. United want to sign him. They have the money to do
signing
that.
everyone now, ain't it?
Yeah, Varane, right?
Varane is
Rafael Varane, they
almost
completed
done.
the deal, almost
Yeah,
done, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you see, we'll see how far they can go. Sancho already in.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to do some clear outs because that's the only way you can have all these players coming in.
Exactly. I think Pogba is that one
Number one clear out.
Yeah,
His money is too
I
big.
know
You
it's
can use it to
clear.
fund 3 or 4
I mean,
players.
they've got
You
a
need
decision
to
to make on Pogba. Is entering into the final year of his contract. It's either they sell him this year or they lose him on
for
a free
for the second time.
because it doesn't look like he wants to sign another contract.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a fantastic day.
I am Taya Salams. Join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.